Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at the presets tab in Betaflight. The presets tab is where you're going to pretty much be doing a lot of your loading and saving backups, and there's also a whole lot of things that can make setting up your drone and programming it much easier. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so in Betaflight, after you've plugged in your drone, you're going to go right down to presets. Presets is right under power and battery. Click on it and you'll see a whole lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of things on this page. It's actually not too complicated. This is just kind of a feed, I guess you could say. But the first thing we're going to start with is right at the top of the page over here, the save backup, load backup, preset sources, and presets wiki. Preset sources and presets wiki I'm not going to be talking about. It's really just the save and load backup. So basically the save backup button over here, when you click it, you're basically going to be saving a whole backup of your whole entire drone. Everything that you programmed on your drone is going to be saved there, so that if you ever mess something up on your drone while doing something, you can always just come back here and use the next button, load backup, to load the backup you made before and bring it back to what you had before you messed it up. So this is very important. Every time you do something, always save a backup of the program, because if you ever mess something up, like I said, you will always be able to go back to where you started. So yeah, that's the save and load backup. Always use this. If you just got the drone and you're trying to set something up, save a backup of it so you can always go back to what it was before. Even when you just finish programming everything and you're ready to go fly, save a backup, because if you ever want to change something, you can always go back to your saved backup once you've changed anything. So very useful, very important buttons over here. So this is in the presets tab, just remember that. Alright, now that we've gotten the saving and loading backup out of the way, let's move on to the actual thing that makes the presets tab the preset tab. Basically, the presets tab is where you can find all of the presets that other pilots have made or that were already there for different drones. So over here you can see Street Lead Fingers, PID Toolbox Tune, Superfly Freestyle 4-inch quad. All of these things are presets, and you can apply them to your drone, so that some of them over here it says PID Toolbox. This is basically for PID tuning. Other ones, it's just basic setup for a certain kind of drone that people published here. This tab gives you presets that you can put on your drone so that it's easy, so that you don't have to go through the whole entire process of setting up your drone yourself. If you're ever looking for a specific preset and you don't know if it's there, or you know it's there but you can't find it, what you can do is always go into the up here, categories, keywords, authors, firmwares, and status. Firmwares, it's always automatically going to put it to the firmware you're using. So I'm using Betaflight firmware 4.3.1. So that's the firmware it's going to put for me, 4.3. If you're looking for a certain category or something in a certain tab, you can always go over here, click on the drop-down menu, and then you can look at all the different things there are over here. So you can look at the filters, the LEDs, the modes, OSD, rates, everything else. So by clicking one of these things, you'll be able to find a preset that might suit you for whatever you're trying to accomplish in setting up your drone. So let's say I want to set up something for my LEDs on my drone, because over here, as you can see at the complete bottom, there's the LED strip tab. If I click on LEDs, I'll be able to see a preset for the LEDs on a quad for Betaflight firmware version 4.3, and then I can click on it and I can apply the preset to my quad. You can do that with pretty much everything else. You can tune it, you can choose rates, you can choose an OSD preset, a bunch of other things. If you're looking for something that's more dedicated to your drone, like let's say for me TS-130, the Wizard drone, you can always go into keywords, find something over here. You can find either, my drone is a 3-inch, so if I want to find a preset that's for my 3-inch drone, I can press on 3-inch, then I'll have presets for that, for a 3-inch drone. You can combine them so that, let's say, okay, I'll do LEDs for a 3-inch drone, and oh, I did this and there are no presets found for that. So this is a very useful way to just speed up the process of setting up your drone or setting up certain things on your drone without actually having to go into every tab and doing it yourself. Obviously they might not always have what you're looking for, which isn't what you want, but if there is something that you can use here, it's going to be very useful. So also another thing I forgot to mention for the VTX in one of my past videos is there's also one more way that you can look for your VTX table. It's using the presets tab. You can actually go over here in the categories and press VTX, and you'll find a bunch of different VTXs. So over here, Ishi Nano V2 VTX table. That's, if I have an Ishi Nano V2, I can press on this and apply it so that in the video transmitter tab, I'll have the VTX table for the drone. So I don't have to go look for it on the internet, it's right there, which is very, very useful, let me tell you. It's amazing. But if it's not there, obviously you'll have to go to the manufacturer's site or the site where you bought the VTX and find the VTX table yourself. But both ways work very well. So yeah. You can also look at authors, because there are many people who have made presets. So if you like a certain person who made a preset and you know they make really good presets, you can always click on their name and you can just find all their presets. Even Betaflight, you click on Betaflight. Betaflight presets are always official, so you know that they will work. Others that say experimental, they don't necessarily work perfectly. These will work perfectly. Obviously, you need the correct drone if it has a specific drone type. But yeah, and status, this, like I said, there's official, community, and experimental. Community is people, part of the community who made presets who put them on up here. And then, like I said, the firmware, you can choose the firmware. So yeah, that's really everything you need to know about the presets tab. You can find presets for your quad to make setting it up much easier. And it's also the place where you're going to be doing most of your backup saves and loading up some backups. So yeah, that's all there is. Alright, so that's the end of the video, guys. This was a much shorter video because the presets tab, there isn't that much on it, but it is a very important tab. But I hope you understood. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Like the video and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.